This Sunday isn't just another day on the calendar. It's a divine appointment, chosen one. Heaven has circled this moment for you. A spiritual portal has opened, and with it comes the emergence of the version of you that was never meant to stay hidden. Your soulmate, the one destined to walk with you, has just seen your true worth. And it's not what they expected. They thought they knew you, but what they didn't realize is that God was hiding his masterpiece in plain sight. What they now feel isn't fear of you. It's fear of losing you to your own evolution. Because you are changing, you're rising, and you're no longer willing to shrink just to make others comfortable. That version of you that carried pain in silence, that settled to survive, that waited to be chosen, is gone. This Sunday, a sacred shift begins. A part of you, a part that only heaven truly knew, is stepping forward, radiant, unapologetic, and anointed. You're not just healing. You're being reborn in clarity and drenched in purpose. There is something strong in these words that is just waiting to match with your spirit. So stay with this message through to the conclusion. This is a prophetic alignment, not simply a video. Put your best wishes in the comment section and end it with the number 777, which is a heavenly symbol for spiritual liberation and manifestation. This is a powerful energy exchange with the cosmos, a proclamation that you're prepared to rise and become the person you were meant to be. It's not just a desire. Your faith is what drives this change. Select one now, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get started. From elegance to brilliance, you've been through the refining furnace. It burned away what wasn't really you, even if it seemed like it was shattering you. Your previous self was unable to transition into your new chapter, which is why you were stripped away, not because you were undeserving. The stillness, loneliness, bewilderment, and pain were all a part of a heavenly purification. The silence in heaven wasn't a sign of desolation. Rather, it was a kind embrace because you were ready, not punished. Your spirit was stretched with the suffering you've been experiencing recently. You're outgrowing your previous identity and way of thinking. You can't live with that constrained version of yourself anymore. Old relationships and even once righteous aspirations are being discarded. This is because you have been awakened to a more profound, ancient, and holy destiny. It comes to life on Sunday. Even your closest friends and relatives cannot see every aspect of you, and you may not be entirely honest with yourself, but they have always been recognized in heaven. Buried behind shame, expectations, and a propensity to play small for the sake of others is a fighter inside of you. But not anymore. This Sunday's new you doesn't ask for permission. This new you has a task to accomplish, nothing to prove. Numerous times, you've approached your breaking point. You've prayed with tears in your eyes, wondering whether they ever made up to the heavens. You'll learn now that they were planted, not merely heard. Your new self's roots were nourished by each tear. Your ascent was synchronized by divine time, which was the reason for every treachery, locked door, and quiet night. The harvest is now due. You are not late, broken, or behind, chosen one. For your own unfolding, you're right on schedule. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. The emergence of a better you. It's a birthing day, therefore this Sunday isn't like the others. Having risen from the ashes, the rising version of you now has authority. The storms that didn't drown you are what gave you your strength, not the easy routes. The same fights that attempted to defeat you are no match for you. You'll see changes on the inside as well as the outside. You'll awaken with a deep sense of peace, a serene assurance, and a certainty that you didn't have before. This will result from divine alignment rather than ego. You will no longer have to push things. Instead, they will start coming to you. This is magnetism, not magic. You've turned into a magnet for serenity, wealth, and purpose. The thing that pushed you away will now come after you. You'll unlock doors you never thought possible. People won't know why they are attracted to you. Just by virtue of who you are, favor will come to you naturally. When your own self emerges, you stop chasing after things and instead become the frequency that draws everything to you. Your mannerisms and words will change, not because you're conceited, but because you've discovered the holy. Type Amen to embrace the angel's blessings. Show your support by giving super thanks up to $20. This Sunday is holy because heaven has set the hour, not because of a place or a person. Now, nothing on earth can stop you. Delays have ended. The gates have opened. The weights have been removed, and the winds have changed. Your spectacular entrance is this. And everything will be different when you pass through. You won't have a plead for what's inside of you anymore. When you realize you were the one selected all along, you will no longer wait to be chosen. You will be the validation, not the one looking for it. You will create new places rather than shrink to fit within existing ones. Your voice has meaning, so you won't stifle it to please others. Instead, you'll express the truth. The previous version of yourself kept you alive. However, the new you will encourage others to enjoy life to the fullest. This new self is a conduit for transformation, vision, and power. Your prior narrative and justifications for your previous withdrawals are no longer necessary. They'll see why. They may not recognize you when you emerge, and that's okay. It was always intended for you to be magnificent, not average. The constant change. You'll start to forgive differently because you deserve freedom, not because other people deserve it. You'll get stuff out sooner. You'll have more faith in your instincts. Your spirit will become your compass, and you won't need other people's approval. This Sunday marks the beginning of your everlasting emerging rather than the conclusion of your previous chapter. When you look back, you'll see that everything changed because you finally gave up to your true nature, not because you worked harder. The version of you that others remember, the one who put up with too much, apologized too much, and accepted less, is no longer your limit. You learned patience, resiliency, and how to face darkness from that rendition, which was appropriate for its time. The purpose of this new version is to embody, radiate, and be a live example of faith meeting change, not just to survive. Some individuals may attempt to bring up your former self, not out of malice, but rather because they are unable to understand how you have changed. They are only aware of the chapter in which they last left you, but you have been boldly and covertly rewriting your story. They can no longer just scan your content since it is too long. As if it were an affront, they will declare that you have changed. Take it as affirmation. Staying the same is not why you came this far. There will be a significant change this Sunday, one that is subtle yet impactful. It's for your spirit to remember, not for the world to completely understand. You've always been the actual you. You're not becoming. However, now is the time to stop hiding, to stop lowering your light, and to stop waiting for signs to arrive. You'll turn into the proof, the voice of all your mute entreaties into the darkness. You are now the source rather than the seeking. You're being guided, not lost anymore. Now you're walking instead of waiting. And the energy will change depending on where you move. Before you say a word, rooms will detect your approach. When you walk in, the environment changes, not because you're noisy, but because you're in sync. You have developed in the shadows, grown in the dark, and grown in quiet. You now bear a burden that others cannot comprehend because of this. You have learned to wait without breaking, to sit in uncertainty without giving in to dread, and to endure suffering without losing your goal. And now a strong breeze has been produced by your inner weight. That wind will blast through everything that is sluggish, sticky, and stale on Sunday. It will awaken long-suppressed dreams and shake free the parts of you that are holding on tight. It will feel familiar but new, normal yet novel, and you won't have to push it. The heavenly signature is that. You'll realize that this is elevation, not just feeling. Since you've been ready for this new frequency all along, your soul will be able to identify it. The great remembrance. It's very natural for you to feel emotional. There is an inward discharge of something divine. Your tears are the last discharge of your past self. They are not a sign of weakness. You may want to start something new, relocate, reorganize your environment, or speak your truth. Pay attention to these feelings. They are heavenly wisdom guiding you into your being. They are not random. Your soul is stirring now, not settling. And that stirring is alignment, not worry. Your spirit already knows that the moment has come, and your body is finally catching up. Don't wait for outside approval any longer. Don't shrink any further to fit in. No more sacrificing who you are in order to get approval. There is a line drawn this Sunday, and if you cross it, there is no turning back. The invisibility test has been passed by you. Heaven saw you even if the earth didn't. Heaven is now unveiling you to perform your duty, not to impress others. It starts with you. You didn't come to earth to fit in. You came to break shackles, upset patterns, and be the first person in your family to say, "It ends with me." Because it's true, not because it's loud. Your voice will have authority. Your thoughts will be taken seriously because they are divine, not because they are intelligent. Peace will come from your presence, not by instruction, but via change. You're rising for more than yourself. For generations who are watching from beyond the veil, for the dreams your forefathers sowed into the ground, and for those who are linked to your calling, you are rising. You are the answer to prayers that you were unaware were spoken. Everything you've endured shows that you're not here by chance. It would have already occurred if you were supposed to be hauled out. However, you're still alive, breathing, rising, and getting ready for a Sunday that will fundamentally alter your whole course of events. Don't be shocked if things fall apart this weekend. Commitments, relationships, and routines might all end abruptly. This is trimming, not punishment. Branches that are unable to sustain the fruit must be removed when the tree is ready to produce it. Trust instead of clinging. Celebrate the space being created rather than lamenting what is being taken away. This new you is based on flow rather than force. You'll discover that you can move more easily, talk more clearly, and love more fearlessly. You will realize that your presence speaks louder than words, so you won't have to plead to be heard. You'll begin to choose instead than chase. You'll come to see that you are the blessing you were looking for in other people. The clarity you previously desired is inside you. You are the tranquility you believed could only be found in perfection. You are the change, the spark, and the answer. And you've been waiting long enough for the world to believe it. The world trained you to reject your divinity, which is why you may feel unqualified. But heaven is looking for permission, not for perfection. Permit yourself to get up. Permit yourself to grow out of it. Permit yourself to enter the area that has always been yours. Because the following is already written, you are the fulfillment of the prophesy. The door opener is you. You are the life form's breakthrough. And as soon as you embrace who you really are, the universe will respond with encouragement, signals, and quick action. This Sunday marks your alignment, your emergence, and your confirmation. You'll just be clearer. You won't need to put forth more effort. Remembering more will be more important than doing more. You'll need to go back to who you are, not change into someone else. Your ultimate shape has not yet been revealed to the public, but it will soon be. It's clear that someone who has been through fire emerges shining rather than burnt. And when people question what changed, you'll just grin and respond, I did. I rose. I remembered. You are that. Not only are you living, but you're also awakened because you've endured things that other people couldn't. This Sunday's resurrection of you is holy, not simply healed. You did not allow suffering to have the last say, not because everything has been flawless. You become your own light source by learning how to survive in the dark. Because of this, your ascent is unstoppable. You move through quiet while others need applause to continue. Even when no one shared your vision, you continued to create while others awaited approval. The results of that unseen work are now starting to appear. You reach a new level this Sunday, one that never doubts their value, never doubts their instincts, and never falters under duress. Now that you've completed the inner work, the outside world will follow suit. Only the unquestionable, heavenly, and pure truth remains when you have removed your masks and outdated projections. In actuality, you were never mediocre. We never forgot you. Blending in was never your intention. You were only taught by everything that attempted to restrict you. You became deeper with each delay. You were only led to your true place by each rejection. With every turn, every halt, every shutdown, the choreography was flawless. You were formed by it. You become hazardous to darkness as a result. You're the light now, not just a person walking into it. You will know it's internal, but others will sense a change in your presence that they can't explain. Your energy field has changed. You've let go of attachments to results, given up the desire for control, and broken agreements with fear. You've gained access to real power in that surrender. Truth is the source of this power, not force. By standing in your understanding, rather than by raising your voice, you'll start to communicate with a clarity that resonates. Because your frequency is now clean, you will draw things to you without actively seeking them out, not via manipulation. You'll know what's aligned before it happens and recognize what's untrue before it speaks. You have entered a permanent state of heavenly perception. This Sunday will seem more like a revelation to both you and other people than a performance. You will perceive yourself differently. At last, you will believe it, not because someone else said it, but because you will remember it as your spirit stretches and whispers, "This is what I was born for." The greatest change comes from recalling what you've forgotten, not from learning something new. And there is a great remembrance this Sunday. You'll see royalty when you look in the mirror, not with pride, but with tranquility. You'll see the courage in your gaze, the poise in your body language, and the insight in your quiet. Although you won't be noisy, you will be indisputable. Although you won't be there everywhere, you will be vital. Even if you won't accomplish everything, your actions will have a powerful impact. Don't be shocked if you don't actively seek out fresh possibilities. Don't be shocked if some folks disappear with ease. This is calibration, not anarchy. Anything that cannot match your new level will inevitably fall away as you climb. Don't be sad, rejoice. The correct energy, purpose, and destiny partners may enter via those exits. You won't settle for anything. You won't have to go over each step again. Now that direction comes from inside, you don't need a map. The compass is now you. You are now the way. Now that you're traveling to expose yourself rather than to discover yourself. The trip is holy. That realization will affect everything around you. It's all about frequency, money, relationships, innovative ideas, and favors. Everything is coming your way now that you're in alignment with your reality. You'll experience breakthroughs without burnout, acceleration without fatigue, and momentum without stress. You waited well, and here is the prize for others who did the same. What wasn't ready wasn't hurried. You didn't push anything that wasn't intended. Through seasons that made no sense, you remained steadfast. Even though you were silent, you came up. Heaven is now appearing for you. You persevered, and your prize will arrive soon, rapidly, and forcefully. This Sunday is a new beat, not simply a new day. There will be less opposition in your life. There will be a greater meaning to conversations. Making decisions will seem simpler. You'll just do what's right, without overanalyzing every action. You've entered a perfect rhythm where you aren't bothered by delays or distracted by diversions. Because now you see that the transition was always more important than the final goal. And that change has been finished. There's a fracture in the shell. It sheds the old. The truth is on the rise.